I've been trying to mess with the webcast program for a while and it's just not recording my face, so I'm resorting to iPhone as well. So I chose to do the journal River Teeth, which is a nonfiction journal, and it focuses heavily on narrative pieces, specifically nonfiction. And it's printed twice a year in fall and spring, and it includes about 12 pieces per issue. They also have an online column called Beautiful Things, which is published weekly, and it features flash nonfiction about things that are considered beautiful in the world, that the author considers beautiful, and the pieces have to be 250 words or less. It was founded in 1999 in Ashland, Ohio, and the editors are Joe Mackel and Dan Lehman, Stephen Harvey, Michelle Webster Hine, Sarah M. Wells, and about half a dozen others. Let's see. It publishes all sorts of pieces, including memoirs and literary journalism, personal essays, as long as they have they feature human experience, even though they have a range of themes from nature and war, religion, family, alcoholism, which is kind of a common theme in our class. Let's see. The featured authors have ranged from up-and-comers to newly published, award-winning authors. So they feature pretty much anyone and everyone that they can. And the important part are submissions. The response time tends to be about 3 to 6 months. And let's see, it's online only. You don't have to pay to submit, thankfully. It's free. But you also don't get paid if you get printed, but you do get a copy of the journal it's published in. Or 2 copies, I think. Yeah, 2 copies of the journal it's published in. And it, as I said, it's online only via a program or an app called Submittable, so you'll have to create an app, a login information. They do accept simultaneous submissions as well as unsolicited submissions, as long as you are not a dick about it and let them know if you get published elsewhere. Oh, that's it. Alright. Oh, what's up with the name? That's a good question. What is up with that name? So, here's a piece from their website, which is riverteethjournal.com, as you can see. And they have all the information from contests, because they also have a annual novel length, like manuscript length nonfiction contest with a prize, and you get published by New Mexico Publishing Press, I think. See? It's open until October 31st, 2018, and it's a $1,000 prize and publication by the University of New Mexico Press, which is pretty cool. So all the information, and they have the About Us section, which is what's up with the name. So let's go back. Contests and introduction. So from here, this introduction was written by David James Duncan, and if you come down here towards the bottom, it says, "I'd like to venture a metaphor. Our present tense human experience is like a living tree growing by a river. The current in the river is the passing of time. Our individual pasts are like the same tree fallen in the river, drowned now, and disintegrating with surprising speed. We resist time's flow with our memories and our language, with our stories. Our pasts break apart even so. Entire years run together. We try to share a memorable experience with a friend and end up arguing about details that don't jibe. Once key parts of our past become impossible to weave into any kind of narrative, other parts, though we narrate them accurately for decades, become so rote that they cause our listeners' eyes to glaze. So we stop telling. We let the filaments of memory wash downriver. The past decomposes. New life and new stories sprout from the fertile silence. There are, however, small parts of the past that resist this cycle. They are hard, cross-grained whorls of human experience that remain inexplicably lodged in us, long after the straight-grained narrative material that housed them has washed away. Most of these whirls are not stories exactly. More often, they are self-contained images of shock and of inordinate empathy, moments of violence, uncaught dishonesty, tomfoolery, or mystical terror. Lust, joy, these are our river teeth, the knots of experience that once tapped into our heartwood and now defy the passing of time. Almost everyone, I believe, owns scores of these experiences, yet perhaps they lack a traditional narrative's beginning, middle, and end. I hear few people speak of them. I resist this hesitancy. Fossils, arrowheads, adobe ruins, abandoned homesteads, from the Parthenon to the bow tree to a grown man and woman's old stuffed bear, what moves us about many objects is not what remains, but what has vanished. Let go of what can't be saved. Honor what can. Share with us your river teeth. So that's what they focus on, is, a person's human experience that has stayed with them throughout all the currents of the river and hasn't washed away into what's been forgotten or tired and old. And I think everyone in this class has moments like that they can talk about and write about, and maybe we should all consider submitting to River Teeth.